Hi, my name's Wayne. Welcome to my channel, Out of the Shadows. I am a survivor of a covert narcissist after 30 years of being played by the covert narcissist who I was married to. I divorced her about a year and a half ago, and I've been away for about a little better than a year. I've been sabotaged. My jobs have been sabotaged. Uh, I've been stalked. I believe my phone's been hacked. My accounts have been fooled with. My checking account. Everything that can be done with my social security number and my birth date and all that stuff. That's all that's been done. I know there's been loans taken out. I've been homeless since I divorced her and left there. One reason is because she had contacted one of the guys that I got a job with when I left there. I had moved to the Cincinnati area, and one of the guys I worked with is who she contacted, or he contacted her. I'm not sure how it happened, but he was sabotaging my job. There toward the end, the sabotage got really obvious, and the owner wasn't catching on, even though I did warn him that something was going on. Um, Also, I had told the owner when I started there what was going on. I gave him a brief rundown that I had divorced a narcissist and that she may be trying to get me fired or she may make calls. I let him and the secretary know that. So she knew that she was hamstrung as far as causing problems that way. So what she did instead is went on a lower level and got someone that had a little bit of kind of like the shop manager, and got him to sabotage my job and do all kinds of stuff. Really strange guy. Uh, he was an ex-con and uh, acted really weird and always talking about sick stuff, kind of that kind of guy. So I guess she was paying him to do these things, or they were in cahoots together. I had found that out because he had given her, I guess, my phone number, and I was getting anonymous phone calls and all this stuff during my first job there. Now, if you're asking how did she know where I was working, well, that's a mistake I made. When I was in the mountains of Kentucky, and I had divorced her. I was looking to move out, of course, so I had started looking for jobs, and I found one, and I didn't have an email address at that time, and I used her email address, uh, not really thinking that I would get a job that quickly because I had not worked in a while. But I got lucky and got a job, and I mean, even though I used her email and she was able to do what she did and all that, I'm still happy that I got the job, even though I used her email, because that job was all I needed to get away and to get started on recouping what I could of my life. So, if you're looking to leave a narcissist or the narcissist in your life, of course, I'm going to say don't let them know where you're going to work. You know, that was done with me. It really was. But I thought since I would speak to the owner that would kind of eliminate anything coming up. I really didn't foresee her getting in touch with someone lower and maybe paying them. That just kind of seemed out there. But that's exactly what happened. And the guy that was sabotaging me, I'm telling you, he was really out there. disgusting talk. He would write 5150 on all of his tools and everything, which I guess that means he's crazy, or he sees himself as crazy, or he's trying to scare people, whatever the case is. It just gives you a glimpse into who this person is. Always needing to be the center of attention kind of guy. What happened in prison to him is up for debate, but safe is to say that he come out and he got him some cats, so whatever that means. So this first video is let you know, what happened to me, who I was rather, because I'm definitely not who I was. So let me give a brief rundown on that. Who I was when the narcissist found me. I was 20 years old, authentic person, just like I am now. Very loving, very trusting. Some would say gullible. I kind of had an innocence about me that is definitely been stripped away. I guess there was a part of me that thought that if you are nice to people, and you'll get that back, and no one could ever be triggered by your genuineness. I guess I thought that. It's funny by what can trigger people. Just being yourself can trigger people. It really can. Because if you don't know, you will maybe eventually learn that it's not just narcissists that wear masks. Many of us wear masks. And I've noticed that, and I believe it's going to be an issue for me, in the future. I've had multiple jobs this year from people who cannot handle my presence. I haven't been fired. I've had to leave every one of them. They don't know how to handle someone that comes in that's authentic, hardworking, and giving. Even at my worst, right when I left the narcissist, and the narcissist was doing really awful things to me in the time between when I found out who she was and when I finally had the resources and the heart to leave. There was a lot of horrible things done to me, behind my back, things too horrible for YouTube. I can never talk about it. So I've had other jobs other than the one I'm talking about, and I'll probably talk about those in the future. Of course, I'm not going to be able to use any names to who they are or what particular place I work, but I will give specific situations, such as I'll give a brief rundown about what the sabotage looked like. There was, let's say, a countertop. It was a countertop that I'd never seen before, and it was set in a weird place. And he comes up to me and he says, Wayne, why is that countertop there? And I said, I know nothing about that countertop. And he said, you didn't put that countertop right there. And I said, I've never seen that countertop before ever. And he said, that one right there. And I said, well, hold on. I said, hold on. And I said his name, and I said, look, here about 3 o'clock, I'm quitting. And I'm not coming back. And then he walks away smiling, and he says, are you going back to your ex-wife? And I said, hell no. And he just proceeded to walk away and smile. He got what he needed. That's what she was going to pay him for, and he was happy because he knew his money was coming. So, but the sabotage started immediately after I started there. It was weird. Um, it was like when I started, I had taken up all the attention that this guy was getting. His nickname, I think, was Skeletor. So we can address him as Skeletor. Skeletor with the kitty cats. So, yeah, Skeletor acted like I was like soaking up all his light, all his attention. And I was just trying to work hard. I was in a situation to where I couldn't afford to lose. And I was trying to get my work and my attitude to reflect that. And even giving to people when I didn't have much to give. Any to give, some would argue. So that's it for this first introductory video about who I am. Well, who I am. I'm in transformation, as they call it. So who I am today, I may not be tomorrow. But who I am today is definitely an improvement on who I was. And no matter what happens, I will always be grateful that I left the narcissist. I will always recommend that you leave your narcissist. I will never, in any situation, ever go back on what the experts say, that you need to go no contact. It doesn't matter if they're friends, former friends, family, loved ones of any kind, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband. I don't care. It's the only way to go. So I will never say anything other than that on this channel. So if you think I said that you should try something other than going no contact, I assure you misunderstood me, or I had too much to drink or something before I came on camera. But yeah, I'll never say that. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you're interested to know more. I have 30 years to unpack here on YouTube. So if you could subscribe, I'll have donation links down below. If I don't, I will here soon. Thanks a lot. Stay strong. Look out for the love bomb for the young people. If that's the number one thing you gotta look out for is the love bomb. So that's where we're going to start. So look out for the love bomb. They try to do everything for you. They do everything for you if you let them. Right when you meet them, look out for the love bomb. Young people, please. I was 20 when it happened to me. It's very manipulative. Make them wait. You don't need to have sex today. You don't have to. You don't have to have sex with them right when you meet them, or the next day, or even the day after that, or even the week after that. Disarm the narcissist. Okay? They don't know what to do if you don't need their sex. They have to work a different way to love bomb you. So have fun with it and do the right thing. Alright, I'm out of here. Much love to you. My name's Wayne. This is Out of the Shadows. Thanks for visiting. Much love.